Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I wanted to bring you guys a quick video all about what you need to release, receive, and retain right now. So what 3 things can you be doing to just take a look at your life, evaluate what needs to be changed, what you're doing good at, and what you should look forward to, basically. Give you a little bit of optimism about taking back control over your life. So like I said, we're starting with release. What things are no longer serving you? What is it time to let go of? What you need to receive would be what should you be more open to? What could be benefiting your life if you allow it to come in? And what you need to retain, what are you already doing good? What is something that is benefiting you right now that you should either be doing more of or just continue to do the way that you're doing it? So today I have 3 different piles for you to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So go ahead and pause, figure out which pile you feel most drawn to. I've left timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much, and go ahead and enjoy your video. Alright, pile 1. If you chose pile 1, then welcome to your reading. I want to start off by saying that just having looked at your cards right now and kind of gotten a general gist of what I'm seeing 2 major things for you right now. The first one being that you're going through a major life transformation right now physically. You might be seeing people physically leaving your side, maybe like a quote-unquote tower moment where there's sudden upheavals, sudden big changes. And I also see that there's a certain goal, maybe a purpose in your life or a specific career goal, or maybe a goal that you have for your family that you've been really striving to create and to manifest. And I think that these 2 things that are happening right now are happening in conjunction for you to achieve this goal. I think maybe that, all these chaotic upheavals have seemed like, oh my God, my life is falling apart, everything is changing so fast, why is this happening? But I want you to know that this is actually happening for you, and I'm seeing that right here, so I'm going to go ahead and lay it out for you. But I just wanted to put that beginning part out there so that, 1, you can see, is this reading going to be for me? Does this resonate with me? But 2, if you've been going through this right now, I just wanted to give you a quick, it's okay, everything is happening for a reason. Hopefully I can allow you to relax a little bit and have a little bit more trust in the process. So, starting off with what you need to be releasing right now. You have happiness, death, and the 4 of Swords. And what I see right now is, I feel like you've been very upset because you were very happy with the way that your life was. And I don't mean that you didn't have things that you wanted to change, you didn't have goals that you wanted to aspire to, but I think that you were very comfortable. And what I'm seeing here specifically in your reading is it's possible that there are certain friend groups or certain family members that you were tight with, but now they're suddenly either leaving your life on purpose or you haven't had as much time with them, and you're in this period of almost feels like isolation. I feel like you've been feeling a lot of loneliness, and you're looking back on this period of your life like, God, I was so happy then, why is everything changing? Everything is different now. But the truth is, in order for you to achieve this goal that you have, in order for you to accomplish this purpose or this career goal or this family goal that you have, it's time for you to let go of certain people or certain structures that you had in the past, because they are no longer going to be able to help you achieve what it is that you want to manifest. These things would have brought you down, not because they're inherently bad, but because there wasn't space for them in this new life that you want to cultivate. And that being said, I don't think that these people are disappearing forever. This could just be a period in your life where you are feeling more isolation, where maybe you did need more space on your own, and the universe is paving the way, because the universe has heard your prayers that I want to manifest this specific life, and the universe says, okay, if you want to manifest this, then it's time to make some changes. I hear your prayer. I'm going to start moving some pieces around so that we can make way for this new thing that you want. But now you're starting to see everything moving around, everything changing, and you're like, oh my God, why is this happening? And I want you to know that it's for your benefit, because it is moving you closer to this goal that you have. It is moving you closer to this manifestation that you're trying to create. Some examples of what this might be is maybe you've become really in tune with what you desire to get out of this life. Maybe you want to travel, or maybe your purpose is making pots and you really enjoy that. Or maybe this is a career thing. You suddenly want a career change. You've been praying for a career change or praying for more financial stability. Or it's a family thing. Maybe you've been wanting to expand your family or find that partner that you've always desired. And in order for this to happen, the universe needs to move things around for you, needs to make space in your life to push you in the direction. And sometimes that means leaving things behind. And that's what's happening for you right now. And what I see for you, what you need to release right now is release this feeling of melancholy that you have when you look at the past of, God, I was so much happier back then. Because mentally, it's like you keep going back to the past. You keep getting stuck there. And instead, you're not allowing yourself to be where your feet are. Be grounded in the present and see, okay, I'm not really happy with how things are right now, but looking towards the future, in what ways is this allowing me to create this goal or create this manifestation that I want? Yes, I was happier in the past, but I don't live there anymore. So what can I do to look towards the future and cultivate my happiness there? Because this form of happiness that you had, it's changed. And you can no longer go back to it because there are things that have either permanently or right now you just can't change them. And you're in this period of rest. You're in this period of silence or isolation, which can feel like loneliness. But the thing about isolation is it allows us to learn more about ourselves. It allows us to let go of distractions, let go of other people's wants and needs so that we can focus on ourselves, focus on our goals. And yes, it can be hard feeling this loneliness, but the universe isn't served when we're lonely forever. You're not going to be lonely forever because people are the greatest teachers that we can have. Right now, you need this period of isolation because it's allowing you to move forward towards this purpose of yours or this desire of yours. But you're not going to be this way forever. So don't get stuck in the past. Look at how this is serving you right now. It's time to release this desire of being like, God, I was so much happier back then. I just want to go back to how things were. Because what is happening to you right now is happening not just for a reason, but for you. And so next, what I see with what you need to, I believe this was receive, what you should be receiving right now. You need to stop putting up blockages and holding on to people and things that are leaving your life right now. Like with right here, we have this isolation card. This is something that you need to receive. You need to allow to happen. This isolation that's happening isn't because there's something wrong with you or because people no longer want to be around you. Like I said, the universe is making space for this manifestation or this desire that you want. And the reason I see that so clearly is because when you're in this isolation, when you allow yourself to have room just for yourself, just for your needs, just for your desires, to have a full open schedule just so that you can fill it with things that serve you, that's when you're this magician card. The magician is all about manifestation, creation, being able to put all of your tools at your disposal to use. And you can only do that when you have no distractions, when there's no one around you to pull you in one direction or another. So right now, what you need to be receiving is notice when somebody around you doesn't have time to hang out, or they can't make it to this gathering, or suddenly your plans get canceled and you have time alone. When you're sitting in that loneliness, instead of feeling bad or being afraid that no one wants to be around you or that suddenly you feel so alone, look at it as, okay, now that I have all this free time, how can I start working towards this goal or this manifestation that I have? Because when you are alone is when you can do the most work. The universe is making space for you to do this because it is part of your purpose, because it is something that you are meant to do. And it is something that you are going to do very well, something that you are going to accomplish and you are going to make happen. But in order to make it happen, you have to be in this period of isolation. And like I said, it's not going to be forever, but the universe is making this space for you for a reason. And finally, with what you need to be retaining right now, I see that you have a lot of determination towards this goal. This is something that you want really badly. You have the passion and the fire, but you also have, the, what's the word? It's like when you don't act with emotion. Logistics, you have the knowledge to make it happen. I can't think of the exact word, but not only do you have the passion for this thing, but you have the ability to sit down and be disciplined and formulate the plans, figure out how you're going to physically work towards this goal. And what you need to be retaining right now is basically both that fire within you and the discipline to get it done. Because you have everything that you need to accomplish this goal or create this manifestation. Whatever it is, whatever this ideal life is that you've been wanting so badly, it's time for you to make it. And the thing that you need to hold on throughout this is that fire within you, that inspiration, but also that discipline, because when we really want something, we feel very inspired to do it. But when it takes a long time, that inspiration can die off. You know, inspiration isn't permanent. It's the thing that gets us going. But the thing that allows us to keep pushing even when we don't feel inspired, even when we're feeling tired and we don't want to get out of bed, that thing is discipline. And so what I want to tell you is you're embarking on this journey of creating this life for yourself that you've always wanted. And the universe is making space for it to happen because, let me tell you this one thing that I've been thinking of. There's this saying that when you let your intuition be your compass, the universe puts wind in your sails. And right now, if you continue to follow this desire, follow this manifestation, the universe is going to put wind in your sails. It might not seem like wind. It might not seem like something that's benefiting you or pushing you forward, like isolation, because it doesn't feel good. But if you look at it from a different perspective, you'll see, oh, when I'm in this isolation, I can actually get work done. So I want you to see in what ways the universe is pushing you towards this goal. Now that you have it in your mind that this is something you desire, the universe is backing you. Now the only thing that you need to hold on to yourself is how much you want it and how disciplined you can be. You know, forming schedules, or like I said, if you wake up one morning and you're too tired to get out of bed, what's going to get you out of that bed? What's going to make you stand up and start putting pen to paper or making this thing happen? Because you can make it happen. But the only person that's going to make it happen for you is you. The universe has your back. The universe is going to open and close certain doors so that you can be going in the right direction. But the only person putting one foot in front of the other is you. If you really want this desired life, it's time for you to be putting in that action. And everything I see here is that the whole world is on your side. The whole world is going to come together to make sure that you get this desire. But in order to get there, you have to be the one moving. So, pile one. That is what I have to say to you. I'm very, very proud of you. I know that this time can feel scary or confusing, but when you can be in tune with your intuition, when you can let that inner compass guide you, when you can, even if there's fog all around you, trust that compass to know that you're going in the right direction, you're gonna make it to what this thing is. And I really hope that you do, because I feel like when people follow their true desires, when they manifest the things that they want, it's like a piece of their soul or a piece of the divine is creating through them. And I think that that's what you can do right now. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you like what I do, I post about twice a week, so feel free to subscribe and stick around. And if you want a personal reading, I do offer those. There's a link down in the description box below to my shop. But that's everything that I have to say for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 2. If you chose this pile, then this is going to be the reading for you. And I want to start off right now by saying that this reading, part of it comes off as a warning, because I'm honestly very surprised that the Tower card didn't show up. If you don't know tarot, the Tower is all about upheavals, chaos, sudden changes. And that's what I'm seeing for you. So this could be something that you're going through right now, or you're about to go through. And Spirit is trying to have your back through this, because it's something that needs to happen, but it's also going to be a very uncomfortable time for you. I specifically get the vibe that it has to do with family dynamics. I'm going to get further into it, but starting off, what you need to be releasing right now, we have Hunger and the Knight of Cups reversed. I think that you have a tendency, at least in the past, to jump headfirst into relationships that don't end well, because at first maybe you're wooed by the idea of the person, but you don't see their motives underneath. And I think that there's a warning here that there's a person in your life who's starting to show their true colors, or there's a person you're about to meet who you might be wooed by, but it's time for you to release this sudden drive and spark that you feel towards people. It's not that the drive and spark is a bad thing, But I feel like with it being the hunger card, it can be all consuming. You suddenly feel the desire to be around this person 24/7, or to get to know them super quickly, or to move in too fast, or to get serious too quickly. And Spirit is saying that, maybe these feelings are unavoidable, but they want you to take a more discerning, careful look at who this person is. I'm specifically getting like this could be a romantic kind of thing, or maybe this is very, very specific, so don't self-diagnose, but if you have BPD, it's kind of like that favorite person thing. I don't know a lot about it. I've heard it be talked about, so take all this with a grain of salt. But I've heard that people with BPD, borderline personality disorder, can have a specific like favorite person that they latch onto, become obsessed with very quickly. And you might want to look into BPD for yourself, see if that sounds like something that you might have. But of course, don't self-diagnose. I urge you to go to a professional psychiatrist if that's something that you're interested in. But basically, to get back to it, what I see is you become very enthralled with people very quickly. And just as you want to be close to them, they can kind of sink their hooks into you. They can manipulate you or take advantage of you. And Spirit is asking you to take a very discerning look at whoever is in your life right now, or whoever is about to come into your life. It's time to release them. Like, full stop. This is somebody that is going to do more harm to you than good. And Spirit wants you to use your intuition, use your inner guidance, use your gut to look past the hunger, look past the passion, and see, what is this person's inner motives? Do they actually deeply care about me? And really sit on that and think about it, because you need to be protecting yourself right now. This person is going to leech off of you when you are in your darkest moments. I'm almost seeing like, I just got the idea in my head of a girl who meets a guy who seems like he's all this. They have a lot of passion and what feels like love, but then something tumultuous or crazy happens in the girl's life. She's falling apart and the guy is like stealing her money. Like, that's the kind of situation that I'm seeing here. That you might think that this is somebody that you can trust or somebody that you really like, but when you're at your darkest point, instead of helping you, this person is going to be taking advantage of you. And then you only realized in hindsight that this person was taking advantage of you all along. So I need you to be very careful right now. I really want to reiterate that. And moving on to what you need to be receiving right now. I think it's time that Spirit wants you to be working more on your third eye, like your intuition, your gut feeling, trusting yourself, trusting what feels right and what feels wrong to you. Because like I said, you're going to be going through a very chaotic time. There's going to be, I don't want to scare you, but obviously this is a general reading. It's going to be slightly different for everyone. So what I say might apply to one person watching the video, but to the other, it might be slightly different. It does seem like there is going to be a loss in your family of some kind. I feel like you have a very close-knit family, maybe even like an extended circle that's like, I don't know why the show Shameless is coming to mind. I don't even watch that show, but maybe it's like that family. There's going to be a loss or an upheaval. Something that suddenly came to mind is, okay, not necessarily death, but maybe somebody goes to jail. Obviously very specific. I've not really ever said something like that in a reading before, but this is what I'm channeling, so I'm just going to give it to you. It could be a male or somebody that has sway over the family, somebody that's very much in charge, like what they say is law. Something could be happening to them, and because of this imbalance in power or this sudden power vacuum, there's chaos in the family, and your spirit guides are asking you to maybe physically distance yourself, or at least emotionally, because in this time, things are going to be very chaotic, people are going to be taken advantage of, and your spirit guides don't want you to be caught in the crossfire when this happens. I see that your family dynamic is going to be changed a lot, and with what you need to be receiving, you need to be using your gut to basically discern that when this loss happens, instead of focusing on what has suddenly been lost, you need to kind of look around and watch your back. Like, let me hold up this card for you to see. I've never interpreted this card this way, by the way, but this is what I'm getting for you. You see this person in this kind of like mourning cloak because these 3 cups have been knocked over. That's what the loss is. But they're so busy focusing on these 3 lost cups, they don't notice the 2 that are behind them standing perfectly upright. And usually when this card is interpreted, it's seen as you're too focused on the bad things that you don't notice the good things. But what I'm hearing for you is that you're going to be so focused on this sudden loss that you're not realizing there's somebody right behind you about to backstab you. And so what I need for you is, instead of standing in the middle of these cups, having one behind you, one in front of you, take a step back so that you can see the full picture. That is the biggest thing that I'm hearing for you, is seeing the full picture of what's going on. Because when you're in the thick of it, you're only able to look in one direction. You can't be looking in all directions at once. But physically distancing yourself from this group, taking a step back, using your intuition, not letting your passions or your emotions cloud your judgment, see what's really going on in this family dynamic, or it could even be a friend group, but I really do think it's about a family dynamic that's going to be changing here. Take a step back and really discern what's going on, because Spirit does not want you to get hurt or taken advantage of. And I'm seeing you as, the word scapegoat just came to mind, possibly somebody taking advantage of you, making you a scapegoat. This is very, very specific, this entire reading, but like specifically how I was talking about somebody going to jail, with you being the scapegoat, it could be there's more skeletons in the closet. There could be money that's unaccounted for and somebody pins it on you, and then suddenly you're in trouble. So honestly, what I'm getting right now is it's time for you to turn tail and run. Don't let these people take advantage of you. Make sure that you aren't around anybody that could say, she doesn't have an alibi. I don't know why I'm saying she. You could be he or she. But take some distance from these people until the dust has settled, because you don't want to get mixed up in something that might fall apart. I'm going to leave it there so I don't over confuse you, but basically, the first 2 things that I have for you here is it's time to let go of a romantic partner of some kind, or somebody that's coming towards you. Even if you feel very passionately about them, this person is going to take advantage of you when you're at your worst. And you're going to be at your worst very soon, because there's something going on with your family. There's some sort of dynamic that's about to change drastically. And it's time for you to physically distance yourself, because you could get caught in the crossfire. And finally, with what you need to retain, I see caution, death, and the 9 of Wands, and this just reiterates everything. The biggest thing that you need to be having right now is caution and discernment. With the 9 of Wands, you see this person holding the wand, they have a bandage around their head, they're very scared, because behind them are all these other wands that you don't know who has your back, you don't know who to trust. And with the Death card, you see people dying, people suffering. I don't necessarily want to scare you by saying that somebody is going to die, but like I said, the family dynamic that you have, I don't know why this is coming to mind, but specifically, if there's any gang affiliations, things could be going really sideways really fast, and you need to exercise caution. Something that literally came to mind right now is trust no one. I don't ever say that, but in this specific situation, even people that you think that you can trust, you need to distance from someone, because even if you trust someone, you never know what somebody will do for money, or if somebody is being threatened, who they will throw under the bus. I don't know what the hell I was channeling right there, but if this resonates with you, please, please take this advice. Even if it doesn't pan out as badly as I'm saying, you need to be exercising caution in these next few months or year, or however long this is, until the dust settles, because this seems like a very sticky situation, and your spirit guides are coming through very clearly to warn you about this. They're coming through very clearly to emphasize that you need to get out of there, you need to protect yourself, and basically trust no one, which, like I say, is not something that I usually say, but that is what I'm channeling here for you today. This is obviously it's going to be a very dangerous environment when shit hits the fan, essentially, and it's time for you to get out of there. So do what you can, pack your bags, get out of there, be safe. If you have family members in another state or far away that you can go live with during this time, I don't know, but use your own discernment, use your judgment, and especially exercise caution. So I really hope that I didn't scare you too much there. Hopefully this doesn't come to pass extremely badly, but I just want you to be as prepared as possible if this sounds like this could be your situation. Like I said, I've never done a reading like this, but since it was so specific, I want you to take it seriously. At least if it doesn't come to pass, at least you are being cautious. There's nothing wrong with being a little cautious. So, pile 2. That is everything that I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you if you need it right now. If you like what I do, feel free to subscribe, leave a like. I post about twice a week, so if you enjoy what I do, feel free to subscribe and stick around. And if you're looking for a reading about your specific situation, I do have personal readings that I do. There's a link down in the description box below to my shop. But that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3. If you chose this pile, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now I want to start off by saying that there is a major theme in your reading that is all about keep moving forward, stop looking back at the past. So starting off with what you need to be releasing right now. I think that recently, or even maybe not recently, but you've just been holding on to, you've had a rejection of some kind. This could have been a romantic rejection, or this could have been maybe you got rejected to the school that you really wanted to go to, and all your other friends got into it. And with the 6 of Cups reversed, it's like you're stuck in the past of what could have been, or why didn't this work out, thinking about why you were rejected, what's wrong with you. And the truth is that this is exhausting. That is an exhausting mindset to be in, to constantly be questioning your worth. And what I want you to hear right now is a piece of advice that I heard about rejection, is it's nothing that's wrong with you. It has everything to do with what the person or what the institution was looking for. And just because you don't fit that doesn't mean that you're not somebody else's or something else's ideal. Like, for instance, when it comes to romantic relationships, maybe you're like really tall, good looking, and this person that you really like, they reject you. And suddenly you're wondering, why am I not good enough? What's wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me. I must be ugly. And the truth is, maybe that person is insecure because you're taller than them. You know, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And so I kind of just want to give you that piece of advice to frame things from a different perspective. If maybe you've been wondering, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? Because those things are simply not true. It's always, they're just looking for something else. That doesn't mean that there's something inherently wrong with you. You're just somebody else's cup of tea. So I want to start with that there. But the biggest thing that Spirit wants you to release right now is this, it's like you're obsessing over this rejection, and it's not helping you. Why would you continue to obsess over this rejection? It's not going to change the past. It's not going to make them accept you. It's only going to make you more upset. It's only going to make you dwell on the past and have an inability to move forward. And I'm saying this, I'm not like berating you or yelling at you because I've gone through these things myself. But I want to give you that like firm hand on your shoulder, the no bullshit answer that says it's time to move on. Because it's time to not be coddling you right now, because there's something you're supposed to be moving forward towards, but you're not going to be able to make it happen if you stay stuck in the past. So that is the number one thing, is to get rid of these feelings of rejection. The next thing that I have for you about what you need to be receiving is there's suddenly going to be a lot of movement around you. Like I'm imagining a river flowing or waves cascading. And if you stay rooted in this spot where you're scared to move on, you're scared to move forward, you're just going to get tossed around. You're not going to be in the flow of things. And so the universe is starting to move things for you, starting to make this river flow in the direction of what your purpose is or what your goal is or what your ideal life is. And if you stay stuck in the past on what could have been or why you're not good enough or why you can't accomplish what you want, you're not going to see that the universe is trying to move you towards what you actually want. So when I see this Queen of Pentacles reversed, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody that is very secure, somebody that is financially abundant. But when she's reversed, instead of being stable, it's like she's rooted and stuck. There's a difference between being stable and being stuck in the ground. And if you're stuck in the ground, this movement is just going to jostle you. The river flowing is just going to jostle you back and forth. And it's time for you to get unstuck, to stop being so obsessed with the past, stop being so obsessed with what could have been, what's wrong with you, what you need to change, and it's time to just be in the flow. Allow yourself to at least just turn your head towards the future. Start thinking about the future and start letting go of the past. Start releasing the past. And what I see next with what you need to retain, it's basically the exact same thing because you have the Eight of Wands. And if you see, the movement card is literally based on the Eight of Wands. Like, they're the exact same thing. It's just more movement. What you need to retain is basically forward momentum because there's going to be more disruptions along your way, but you need to have a clear focus on what the end goal is. Maybe you get rerouted one way, rerouted another way, but as long as you stay focused on the end goal, you're going to keep moving towards it, even if there's rocks in your path or obstacles in the way. An analogy that I thought of once that I sometimes bring up in these tarot readings is, imagine that you really, really want to have a shop where you sell like arts and crafts or things that you make. And you have this perfect idea of you want it to be in this location, in this shopping center, because that's the shopping center that is coveted, that everybody goes to. But for some reason, the lease falls through. You don't get access to it. And suddenly you're like, well, I should just give up. There's an obstacle in my path, therefore it's not meant to be. But the truth is, maybe a month from now, there was going to be water damage in that place, and you would have bills that you couldn't pay, and you'd need to shut it down. Or maybe that location is no good because there's going to be a fire next week. So I want you to see, if something is in your path, or if something's in your way, it's not necessarily something that's like, oh, well, I guess that I'm never going to accomplish this. I guess that it's just, I'm not good enough, or I can't make it happen. The truth is, no, maybe there's a much cheaper place down the street that doesn't seem all that great right now, but it's about to be heavily renovated, and suddenly that's going to be the spot to be. So what I want you to hear right now is this big rejection that you've faced. You're dwelling on the past too much because you feel like this is the big thing that is stopping you from accomplishing your dreams. And the truth is, the reason that you didn't get that isn't because you're not meant to accomplish your dream. It's because that was not going to get you to your dream. It might have seemed like that was the perfect outcome, but I want you to know that as humans, we don't know everything. You thought that that was going to be the outcome that brought you to accomplishing your dreams, but maybe it wasn't, and that's why you didn't get it. And if you stay stuck in the past, you're never going to move on to what actually is meant for you. So it's time to unroot yourself. It's time for you to allow yourself to be a stable boat flowing on the river and following this flow to where you're actually meant to go. Because you are still going to get to this thing. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be more obstacles in your way. But what I want you to realize is just because there's an obstacle doesn't mean that that's a full stop, that you're not meant to keep going. And that's something that I had to personally learn for myself, because every time there was an obstacle in my way or something didn't work out, I suddenly told myself, oh, I guess it's just not meant to be. But the truth is, until I physically cannot do any more, then it's not meant to be doesn't cut it. Just because one door closes doesn't mean that you just stand in front of that door being like, oh, well, I guess it's never going to open again. No, it's time to look for a different door. It's time to look for a window. It's time to look for any other route. Until you're fully boxed in and there's nowhere left to go, stop giving up on your dreams, because your dreams are worth going after. And that's what I need you to hear right now. The universe is helping you conspire to achieve this, but you need to be in tune with the flow. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep looking at other opportunities. When something goes wrong, turn the other way and try a different direction. There's going to be more disruptions in your way. There's bound to be more rejections. But if you release the idea of what the outcome is supposed to look like, you can find the true outcome that is going to actually get you to what your desire is. So, pile 3. That is everything that I have to say to you. I know that you can accomplish what it is that you want to. You just need to not give up and stop talking down on yourself. Something that I want, a final piece of advice if you're willing to. There's this podcast that I listen to called Aware and Aggravated, and one of the episodes is titled Things to Stop Speaking Over Yourself. And I really encourage you to listen to that because that was personally very helpful to me, and especially as how I was channeling the words like I'm not good enough. That is something that you should never be saying about yourself. So I really, really do encourage you to listen to that podcast because it changed a lot of my perspectives about what I can accomplish. And I hope that you can see that too, because there's a lot that you can accomplish. You need to just start not talking down to yourself, for one. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you like what I do, you enjoy me, feel free to subscribe and stick around because I post about twice a week. Leave a like if this really benefited you, because it helps me know that this reached people that it resonated with, and that's why I do these things. And if you're looking for a reading about your specific situation, I do offer those. There's a link down to my shop in the description box below. But that's everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.